Here we go, everyone. Here we go. Getting things all set here. Double checking stuff, making sure I have good audio. There we go. I can bring the music back down here. And always, I want to thank you all for catching me live, whether you're here lurking or catching me on a replay. Thank you all for joining me tonight. And right off the bat, hello, Killer Rabbit from Space. Very cool to see you here. Greetings, humans, and hail. Thank you. Now, for tonight I'm going back to a pretty heavy subject that is always in the news, the AI art debate. There's always cases against it. Lots of stuff being said in the news. Over the past week or so, I've come across a number of articles here and there, and I thought I would touch on it yet again. Let's see, getting my show notes ready. Hello, Melted Copper. Thanks for joining me tonight as well. Let's see. I almost need... I had to hit the cough button there. I almost need 3 monitors on my... Sometimes 2 monitors is just not enough. All right. I got everything situated here, so I might as well dive right into tonight's topic for chatting. Let's see, the last time I chatted about AI art, I don't know, what, a month and a half ago or so, I made the statement back then, the last time I chatted about it, is I kind of saw a time coming when AI would evolve to a point where you could take text and create like a full-length feature film. I think the example I gave was like if you could just dump a novel into an AI generator and have it attached to a render farm, like to produce animation for a feature film. Well, that was then. Now it's crazy because there's stuff out there where you could text to live action video. I'm going to share some articles here and chat about that. It's kind of impressive. I say impressive in a completely scary kind of way. I'm not a fan of AI art myself. I'm pretty much against it in some regards. It does beg the question, if we've come to a point of no return, has that line been crossed? Now, those of us who are creatives are in any position to do anything about it, because it's an ever-growing tide of so-called AI art out there, and people pushing it, people promoting it. I know there's at least one lawsuit out there regarding AI art, and there will probably be more as things go along. We can protest its use, put a collective foots down, and go harumph all we want, but I think the AI genie is out of its bottle, and there doesn't seem to be any going back. Now, coming from the point of view as a creative, a lifelong photographer myself, starting off as a hobbyist who worked his way up to becoming a professional photographer, it kind of reminds me back to the days when Adobe had just released or had released its version of Photoshop, a photo editing program at the time, and they were releasing newer and newer versions. I started using Photoshop at version 5. It was interesting. We could get our images out of the darkroom, digitize them, get them into our computers for editing, and ultimately output them to a photo printer. The world of photography was forever changed. Now, for some, however, for a few, real photography, I say real photography in air quotes, real photography was something done in a dark room with those trays of chemicals, gadgets, gizmos, safe lights, timers. We developed the film, processed the prints. For those people, even people like that today, the debate of film versus digital, where photography was concerned, was over and done with. They were film, always and forever, no digital. Now, I can remember those days as well, days long gone by. I can honestly say I don't miss them. Oh, not too much. I don't miss the chore of mixing the chemicals, the smell of the dark room. Even though there's something to be said about that special moment of watching the image come alive on the paper as we're swishing it around in the tray of developer. Now, there's something special about that. Now, I still have a number of film cameras in my personal collection and many rolls of film that have not been shot or processed. I can't tell you the last time I shot a roll of film. Probably been a couple of decades. Well, maybe a good 15 years. Over that period of time, all my work and photography has been digital. Now, I say that begrudgingly. All that said, technology happens. Technology is out there, advances are made, advancements happen, and artists and professionals adapt to it. It's something that forces us to change our workflows, our business models, and our mindsets to evolving technology. And you could say, by extension, our culture is impacted. What we call entertainment is impacted. And that brings me to tonight's show, a case for AI art, maybe. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Melted Copper is saying the era of whispering to machine to make things for you. Yes, yes, yes. Well, yes, there's advancements. Depends on what you call art, because art, like passion, you can put it into whatever you do and it shows in your work. Yeah, photography, when film was a thing. Yeah, film is still a thing for many photographers. I know some who are still jaded enough not to touch digital. They are darkroom film only. Let's see. Yeah, catch up with the chat. That's cool. Yeah, the 1 hour photo. Who recalls that time next to phones before? Yeah, yeah. Now, I think the biggest problem with AI art is that we've probably reached a point right now where people can't tell the difference between human created images and artwork and AI generated artwork. It is genuinely hard to tell the difference between the two. It's harder and harder to know what is and what is not AI generated. I say this because this is something that really hit me over the past week and a half or so, as I was checking out my Instagram, checking out things like portraits, still life, product photography, and even automotive photography. Only to realize that a good chunk of the images I was looking at were created by AI and not human created beyond the point of entering text at a text prompt. Again, is there a case for AI, the use of AI art? I think for many out there, myself included, the answer is a resounding no. But there's always a but. On reflection, take a moment to consider the opposing point of view. I found myself asking the question, is there a case for creatives to adapt anything AI art related into their workflow? Is there a way for the photographer, for example, to use AI in their photography? And I'm going to touch on that here pretty quick because there are some interesting examples. It is something that is actually going on right now. One point to consider is the use of AI-assisted editing features in many photo editing programs in use today. Programs like the industry-leading Adobe Photoshop. Yeah, Adobe Photoshop revolutionized photo editing, what was it, 20, 25 years or so ago with the release of Photoshop. Now they're incorporating AI algorithms, editing features that are AI based into Photoshop, into their editing process. It does make editing photos less of a chore, some tasks becoming automated. So I guess in one way you could look at it as a tool in your toolbox. It's a nice way to put it. It's one thing available to a photographer to work on an image that they've taken, whether it's editing something, altering something. There's an AI editing feature. I don't use it myself because the version of Photoshop I have is so old, it doesn't incorporate that. And since Adobe has switched to a subscriber model for their software, I kind of refuse to use subscriber software. I have one of the last versions of Photoshop before Adobe went to their Creative Cloud, forcing everybody to go subscription. Well, for those curious about it, I have Adobe Photoshop CS5 with what was it, some of the last updates, making it essentially CS 5.71 something or other. I know there's the last version was CS6, and then Adobe went full subscriber model. So I've got Photoshop and Lightroom before they went subscription model. So as I go on about this, AI is out there. It's out there, and there's really no going back. I mean, we've come to a point where we can try to fight it, or we can try to adapt to it. It does beg the question, is there an acceptable use case to be made for AI art? Can creatives benefit from the continued use of AI? Or do we collectively cross our arms, stomp our feet, and go harumph? Now, I'm trying to be even-handed here in my thoughts on the matter, even though I am biased against it. There could be a case for it. On one hand, AI does make some aspects easier for editing, like the examples I've given. AI art does make it easier for non-artists to get into creating art. And again, I keep saying art with the air quotes out there. There will always be the question of where is the soul in the artwork? A human hand can paint, can draw, can mold and shape clay, hammer at a block of stone with a hammer and chisel. a human hand can also direct the model's pose or what have you, and then push the shutter release on a camera. An AR art generator can only copy what humans can produce. There's no soul to it. But again, technology changes everything. Advancements alter and shape our society, and by extension, our culture, and by extension, again, what we consider entertainment. We can shake our fists up in the air about it and go harumph all we want, but AI is here, and we have to find a balance. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, it's not going anywhere. That's the sort of thing where a balance will eventually need to be made. Balance will take time, of course, because, well, especially with the court cases going on. So for tonight, I'm going to be checking out some articles, sharing my thoughts on them. Some things I've come across recently that are kind of curious. Like I said, the advancements in AI generative art are kind of scary. It's interesting to think about where we are right now with AI and where we could possibly be headed. Let me see. Let me catch up on the chat here before I continue on and get into my first article of the evening. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. Let's see. Melted Copper, like the Mona Lisa's great painting, seems the world has moved past embracing a simple great picture that is for painters, sculptors, and photographers. Maybe. Yeah. AI should be kept out of anything entertainment. Let's see. We are at an odd era, as to the crafts. I feel there's also the end of a traditional night show where a common man can make an interactive talk show. Yes. A great many people have embraced YouTube. I mean, it's interesting to think about. I myself would not have thought about hopping on air and talking essentially to my computer for hours on end before the coof happened. I mean, the coof, that which changed our society 2-3 years ago, pretty much brought everything to a halt. And all of a sudden, everybody was hopping on YouTube and just chatting about stuff. Here I am talking to a XLR microphone that's taking my voice, modulating it, putting it through a mixer and into my computer where it's getting digitized and spat back out to YouTube, to the interwebs, to the world, and to anyone who cares to listen to me yabber on about stuff. Yeah. Late night talk shows. Yeah. The times, they are a changing. Yep. AI is already the genie out of the bottle. And good point to jump right into my first article for the night. Let's see. Let me make this full screen here. Let me bigify this. There we go. Yeah, I could do that. That's neat. So I'm still in the picture, so to speak. Let's see. I'm looking at Forbes article, The Impact of Artificial Intelligence on the Art World. Not a bad read. Of course, it makes mention of the global coof, forcing much of the world to shut down, causing many businesses to move online, some for the first time. Period also heralded the beginning of a new era for AI, which increasingly revealed its potential in the art market. Begrudgingly. Let's see, I'll skip down here because there are some interesting points. Usually the last paragraph in these articles are the most interesting points when they wrap things up. Let's see. The future of AI in the art world. Although AI is becoming increasingly prevalent in the art business, it does not have to be seen as a threat. If you say so. Many people view AI as a dangerous tool, but AI does not need to be perceived in this way. Instead, as a replacement for human expertise, we should see it as a tool of advancement to be used alongside humans who are being drugged, kicking and screaming into a modern era. That's my addition to this article here. To improve the quality of their work. Maybe the art industry should look towards AI with curiosity, not concern. I would say it should be viewed with curiosity and concern, but that's just my point of view. It's always going to be out there. This is a Bytes Care Blogs article. AI art plagiarism. What is it? Do you know what is AI art plagiarism? As we venture deeper into the digital age, the emergence of AI generated art has sparked a fascinating yet complex debate around creativity, originality, and intellectual property. And this debate will not be solved anytime soon. I believe there's probably going to be 2 or 3 years at least while this debate rages on. What is AI art? What is human generated art? This article does bring up some interesting issues along plagiarism, source material and originality, authorship and intent, the ever-present copyright laws, and ethical guidelines for use, artistic intent and collaboration. Can we do AI art? Can we all do AI art? Understanding the basics, fine-tuning your... And it comes down to bringing art, I guess, to the masses. The great many people out there who can't use a paintbrush, can't sketch anything beyond a stick figure. I mean, it does make art and art creation more accessible. Let's see, what was a point here? Okay, in conclusion, as this article concludes here, the topic of art plagiarism sits at the intersection of technology, creativity, and law, presenting unique challenges and raising important ethical questions. As AI continues to evolve and become more integrated into the art world, maybe it blurs the lines between human and machine-generated creativity. I question that. I question that right here because I've already laid out in my early monologue. Machines don't generate creativity. Humans do. AI, computers, they only copy. They don't create. They can copy something. They can essentially pour it all in a pot, stir it, and then regurgitate what a human has already created. Challenging our traditional notions of authorship and originality. Again, I don't quite agree with that point. The key lies in balancing the innovative potential of AI in art with respect to intellectual property rights and ethical considerations. It's crucial for artists, legal experts, and technologists to collaborate in developing guidelines and frameworks that acknowledge the complexities of AI-generated art while ensuring the protection and fair recognition of creators. Like I said, I can see this raging on for a number of years. This is not going to be settled quickly, and it'll be interesting to follow those lawsuits out there. Speaking of which, Hollywood Reporter article here: AI companies take hit as judge says artists have public interest in pursuing lawsuits. A federal judge rejected arguments from Stability AI, Midjourney, and DeviantArt that the suit is intended to suppress its free speech. Artists have secured a small but meaningful win in their lawsuit against generative artificial intelligence art generators in what's considered the leading case over the uncompensated and unauthorized use of billions of images downloaded from the internet to train AI systems. This is going to be interesting to watch how this unfolds, because you say AI doesn't copy the artwork, but it is using the images to kind of train itself and essentially copy and regurgitate images to create its so-called art. Let's see. The suit filed last year in California federal court targets Stability's Stable Diffusion, which is incorporated into the company's AI image generator Dream Studio and allegedly powers DeviantArt's Dream Up and Midjourney. Let's see. There was one point I wanted to skip down to. Here it is. In December, scrutiny around Midjourney intensified after its latest update no longer remixed images and figures enough to obfuscate what legal experts said is clear copyright infringement. Users could prompt the AI art generator to return nearly exact replicas of frames from well-recognized films. Yep, that's pretty clear copyright infringement. One example, when prompted with Thanos Infinity War, Midjourney responded with an image of the purple-skinned villain in a frame that appears to be taken straight from the movie or promotional materials. The chatbot can also seemingly replicate most animation styles, generating picture-perfect characters from an array of titles, including DreamWorks' Shrek, Pixar's Ratatouille, and Warner Brothers' The Lego Movie. And there's the lawsuit right there, which I haven't really read through, but I've kind of skimmed it. Very interesting. This iPic.ai article: AI art generation, neural networks ruining creativity, ? Creativity at risk, exploring AI art generation with neural networks. Key takeaways: AI art has potential to push creative boundaries to be an innovative partner in art creation. However, there are concerns about AI-generated art's lack of emotional depth and originality. Collaboration between AI and human artists can help overcome these limitations and enhance creativity. That is a big maybe. That is a very big maybe. As long as this is out there, there will always be ethical considerations must be addressed in AI art generation, such as copyright and ownership rights. Let's see, what else was there in this article? The creativity debate. ethical considerations, moral implications, authenticity, real world applications. I think this is getting close to one of the few acceptable case uses for AI art generation I could think of is presentations and reports. AI generated images offer cost effective, time saving solutions for visual aids. This is like if you're in a company meeting and you're having to give a presentation, it's quick and easy to create something AI generated to kind of make your slideshow less dull and boring. It's like I can see kind of a in corporate use for AI art as being acceptable, I guess. I mean, I'm trying to be fair and think of what could be acceptable. What is an acceptable use for AI generated so-called art? Let's see, future of artistic AI. As AI art generators become more sophisticated, they offer a toolkit for enhancing artists' creative process, like I've mentioned earlier, and the photo editing programs, because there are a number of photo editing programs out there besides Adobe Photoshop that have incorporated AI algorithms. Originality in AI artwork, its impact on artists, balancing technology and artistry. That will always be the case here. There's always going to be a question of where is the balance? Where do we find the balance in this? Is there one? Is there one that will be accepted by artists? Ultimately, the art world must navigate these challenges to ensure that AI is an ally to human artists rather than a replacement, thereby upholding the irreplaceable value of human creativity. Checking in with my chat real quick. Again, thank you all for joining me tonight. Very cool to see you all out there. So weird that emotions, feeling, and soul isn't in that article. Essentially, the spine of all art. Yes. Really human, really merges what they saw to make new things. So the AI generally reflect the mental process. Yeah, it's where public domain becomes important. It's hard to say. It's hard to say if AI generative art is public. I guess it could be public domain because it's hard to copyright an AI generated image. I believe there has been some court cases where copyright has been struck down from people wanting to be creative, creating a work of art or so-called art from an AI generator, trying to get it copyrighted, and they found that they can't. Let's see. Moral debate would be Hollywood. Yes, taking CGI Tarkin. And again, this is going to be something I touch on tonight in an upcoming article I'm going to be chatting on real quick here. This is a Zapier article, the best AI photo editors in 2024. Photo editing. Every photographer out there has either used Photoshop, Capture One Pro. This article mentions Luminar Neo, Canva, Pixlr, Lensa. I'm not going to dig into this article. It's just interesting to mention that there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 programs out there. Uh, in the industry professional photographers will use Photoshop, Lightroom, and Capture One. Those are the ones I'm familiar with. I haven't touched Luminar Neo. I've seen it in use. I think I might have tried playing it with it once or twice, but haven't really gotten into it. Uh, Photoshop is just hard to beat. And I'm kind of disappointed that Adobe has gone to a subscription based model, but that's a topic for another time, I guess. Okay, this is the big article of the evening. This is a Red Shark article. I came across this last week. OpenAI's new Sora text to video model can create frightening realistic content. This is going back to a past live stream I did where I was talking about what I kind of envisioned AI doing. Like I thought we're just waiting for a point in time where somebody could feed a novel to an AI generator, have that generator attached to say a render farm to produce a feature length animated film. I think I used Isaac Asimov's Foundation as an example. Like that could be the only the only time we could get a book accurate adaptation of Foundation, because what Apple Plus is giving us was pretty sad. OpenAI has taken the wraps off Sora, its latest AI driven content creation model that can create stupidly high quality content from text prompts alone. And this is an example of that. OpenAI has launched Sora with a whole slew of different videos designed to show off its capabilities. And I'm going to scroll down to, I don't believe this is out yet. Okay. OpenAI says that for now, anyway, Sora is becoming available to red teamers, domain experts in areas like who will be adversely testing the model to test critical areas for harms and risk. So I don't believe it is out to the general public yet. But I'm going to click on this. And real quickly, I'm going to see if I can't enlarge this. No, I don't think I can. But this is video. You'd have to go to their YouTube and check this out. This is very odd. It is AI generated live action video from, I guess, just entering text. It's interesting in a scary sort of way, but it does show the point where we are getting to with AI. I mean, like I was joking about this a month or so ago, and here it is. Let me click on this video. This is SUV. I mean, honestly, this is about the level you would see in video game cinegraphics, I guess. Maybe it's a touch more realistic. Let's see, checking in with my chat real quick. Hello, Padawannabe. Thank you for joining me tonight. I like the idea of starting with ideas using the AI. After that, I want to put my personal tweaks on it immediately. Yeah, that's probably another good example of a case for the use of AI art. Yep. Yeah. I mean, we've that's been around for some time where you can uh, generate somebody's face, somebody's voice, create something new. Let's see, Padawan. I've seen an interview where a comedy author worked with this. He give it a paragraph of his, and AI could give him an immediate storyboard of his written concepts. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of interesting in a scary way how far this is progressing and how fast it's progressing. Another Red Shark article here: How to get consistently great results with Mid Journey. Ever wonder how some people get much better results than your own AI image? No, not really. I haven't wondered that at all until recently. Like I said, the past week or so, as I was going through my Instagram, checking out uh, anything and everything from portrait photography to still life to product photography and even automotive photography, I quickly realized that a good chunk of the images were AI generated. I had to stop and examine the images because of the quality has really progressed. Maybe not in some of these examples because some of these still look kind of uh, hokey. But in some examples out there, some of what I've seen out there on Instagram, for example, it's really like if I had taken a photo of something and then worked on it in Photoshop, then using a filter or a Photoshop action to alter the image a little bit. What's staggering about these, as this article says, is how it has recreated the lighting style, film look, and characteristics extremely faithfully. I mean, yeah, that is kind of freaky. Compare these with the image below, where I specified a more up to date style with film style by 2020's Hong Kong martial arts thriller starring Bruce Lee, sharp and detailed, fine grained, Kodak 200T, global illumination, and all the text prompts he used to create this. Let me see. Open that in another tab. Yeah, I mean, look at this. I could work with somebody on a beach, getting a nice portrait of a surfer on a beach, or I could just go to Mid Journey and type in a text prompt and say, spit out an image of a old surfer dude on a beach with a surfboard. One of them takes the effort of getting out, working with somebody, say somebody who's wanting an image for his own, to say put on his own social media or whatnot, getting out, making a human connection, working with somebody, and the other is typing some words into a text prompt and having an AI generator spit out an image. But this is crazy. Look at the hairs. Photographers look at stray hairs like, oh, there's something we have to Photoshop out or smooth over. And this AI generator is creating an image with flyaway stray hairs, something that doesn't look half bad. More examples of this. Style by 1970s music documentary. Portrait, clear facial features. Looking at the lighting, the background bokeh effects. I mean, some of these I can still tell that they are AI generated, and others I have to take a second look. So there are some good examples and some bad examples, but still. Let me tab over to this one image here. Bruce Lee on a film set. Yeah, it's scary. AI is coming a long way. And the technology is advancing as well. It's like the good old days of film versus digital. That debate will always rage on, film versus digital. I remember that 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when digital cameras were new and very expensive. My first digital camera was a older Canon 8 megapixel DSLR. It could kind of achieve the level of film. This is still interesting. MetaHuman Animator starts to lead us out of the uncanny valley. Some of the results we're starting to see from a combination of Unreal Engine 5.3 and the MetaHuman tool for Unreal are signposting a route beyond the uncanny valley as far as creating animated characters that don't look too unreal, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. And what's crazy is the MetaHuman creator now runs in a web browser. And as I read down this article here, there was one point that was really crazy. Oh, here it is right here. This blew me away. Performance capture on Unreal is not new, but usually requires specialized stereo rigs and relatively large system. But now all it requires is an iPhone. Yeah. All you need now to do photo captures or motion captures, I guess, and then do all the spiffy stuff and animation and whatnot is an iPhone. It is crazy to think of where we started and how far it's come. I'm looking at now some examples of text to video with AI. This is synesthesia. It's been a long day and sometimes words trip me up. But anyway, convert any text into video using AI text to video generator. Prompt to video in minutes. It used to be prompt to image in minutes, but now it's prompt to video. Perfect for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. No video editing skills required. And I guess this is an example of it right here. You type in your text and hit generate video, and I guess it gives you a person that speaks your text. +160 AI avatars. Let's see. I'm going to catch up with the chat real quick. Yes, it's John Henry versus the machine. Yep. The difference will be how a creative person works with it. Will it inspire you to grow, or are you just going to regurgitate the work as their own? Yeah. I mean, it does. It does set the bar pretty low. Certainly trimmed down the greatness of Alex Ross making comics to fine art to now any Joe can yell at the computer to make a movie like a comic photo. Yeah. I think past live stream I was going on about AI generated comic books. And I even came across an example of a website where you go to and create your own comic book using AI generated artwork. You type in text prompts of what you wanted it to be. I gave an example of somebody creating a AI generated Batman comic book. Let's see, this is Steve.ai. Go from script to live animated video in minutes. Transform text into video. Okay, don't take our word for it. Trusted by leading brands across the world. Okay, I guess this is aimed for generating content for advertising. So if you wanted to say what is a good, acceptable case, something that you could accept for AI generated video, it would be, I guess, advertising, corporate meetings. It makes me want to yell at AI to stay off my lawn like an old person afraid of change. I kind of resemble that remark. Yeah. Get off my lawn, you whippersnappers. Yeah. Okay. So kind of round things up for tonight. This is one of the two articles I was going on. I wanted to try to make a case for the acceptable use of AI. Is like, what was something I would be okay with? And even then, I'm still not weary about this. This is AI sketch to image converter. Unlock the potential of your sketches with Sketch to Life, a free AI app that turns drawings into realistic AI photos. Generate images from your sketches and get photos that match your creative vision. So I guess you kind of sketch something out and then upload it to this generator and it kind of spits out an image based on your sketch. As I kind of rework my branding for my YouTube channel, I kind of look at things like this because I'm not an artist. I do well with stick figures, but try to come up with something for, say, a YouTube banner or even a Rumble banner or a Twitter X banner, whatnot. I may explore this to see what I can get out of it with sketching something that I have in mind that I want to use for a banner. But even then, not entirely comfortable using something like this. Tom's Guide. This is a Tom's Guide article. This free AI tool turns your sketches into art, and we've tried it. Let's see, July 21st of last year, Stable Doodle as a free tool that turns rough sketches into finished pieces of AI art. And it gives an example of that right there. But even then, I always look at, you can sketch something out, you can work on a piece of artwork, but it seems like it dehumanizes what you've created. You upload it. Oh, you write a text prompt, start sketching, specify the style, hit generate, download it. And even then, you can download it, but even then, I'd be tempted to take it into Photoshop and start messing with it in Photoshop, seeing what all I could alter on it. Now, let's see, melted copper saying, yeah, as for non-artists, yes. Yep. Actually, sort of an artist. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'd almost have to go into some sort of protectionism in the industry to protect jobs. Because if we had that one AI Sora generator that can take text and create all near a lifelike video, even just minutes of it, that could be really interesting in a not good sort of way. Yeah. You can take bad art and be really good at bad art. I mean, look at South Park. You can look at the what is it called? The Cal Arts style of animation that's out there. The style of animation used for many well, I think of Adult Swim. There are some animated shows on Adult Swim and even HBO that had that style of rough animation. It's interesting to think about where it's come, how far it's come, where it's headed. Let's see. Yeah, that was the last article for tonight. I knew this was going to go pretty quick. It's something new I've seen over the past 2 weeks. A good number of articles out there. Now, with all that said, I'm still largely against the use of AI art in any medium. I try to be fair and look at both sides of it. And I guess you could say there are exceptions, but they should be taken on a case by case basis. I still have too many hangups with AI and the use of AI from an artist's perspective. You could even say a moral perspective. I mean, even from you could even go as far as saying a spiritual perspective for those of us who are Christians out there. Do you really know what you're interacting with? AI algorithm or something demonic? I mean, you could go that far. You could go that route and say there's a spiritual case against the use of AI, interacting with AI. I mean, a few days ago, I didn't touch on this article, but a day or so ago, there was a article about Chat GPT going kind of berserk and spouting out some pretty mean things. And the people behind it were going, well, Chat GTP was having a breakdown or something, and we're having to look into it. But if it was spouting nonsense, it makes you wonder, was it possessed or what? Now, some interesting things to touch on, maybe later on. I don't know. And in short, art should always be from a human creator. Should always be appreciated for what it is and promoted. Artistic endeavors should always be from human hands. Even if you're not an artist, you can always pick up pencil and sketch, doodle. So many of us can doodle even just basic stuff. And doodling, you might be surprised that you can develop your artistic talent. Oh, goodness. One more hour. It's ending. Yes. Unfortunately, it was a long day for me today, and I've got a pretty long day tomorrow. I might actually get some sleep for tonight. One more hour. One more hour. Yeah, someday I may get up to like a 3 hour long live stream. Yeah, I won't go to sleep anytime soon. Yeah. Yeah. How's everybody doing out there? Ah, hello. Hello, Mikey. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, AI art takes away creativity from human beings. So anybody in the chat, anybody out there anybody out there an artist? Anybody pick up a pencil and sketch anything? A camera? Anybody write anything? What's anybody's artistic endeavors out there? And if you catch this on a replay, feel free to comment of what artistically have you done in the past? Oh, copper. Do clay face and do cartoon. Okay, you mean like animation? That's cool. I've seen people play around with 3D animation software like what was it? Maya 3D, Lightwave. I've watched that done, but I never could get into that. So I could always relate to photography myself in the artistic medium of photography. Let's see. Killer Rabbit from Space, doing fantastic. Yep, 2-day stop motions. Originally wanted to draw comics. Well, each of us contributes in our own way, so that's cool. What's this? Wrote one novel about kids and time travel. Okay. Wow. That's cool. I'm unfamiliar with Lotus Beta Code. I think in first time I went to college, it was for a technology degree, so I'm kind of familiar with some programming languages. I did a little bit in assembly, but that was the extent of my programming way back when. Never got into anything like C++ or anything like that. But I was in the tech industry for the better part of 20 years after getting a engineering technical degree. Got completely bored with that after 20 years and saw that a lot of the tech jobs during the early and mid 90s had been shipped overseas. Decided to develop my first passion, that being photography, and went back to college for a degree in photography. Been a lifelong photographer, hobbyist since, and developed that into a profession. Okay, seeing some stuff I don't know about. Yeah, some things I don't know. Not going to comment on any of that. Let's see. What am I going to do for future live streams? As I start taking my adventures into YouTube a little bit more seriously and maybe put a little bit more effort into it. Like I said, I'll probably play around with an AI art generator, seeing what I can do with some sketches I make, because I want to do I'd want to redo uh, my branding for the channel. Do something spiffy with like a new banner, kind of tie it to my Twitter X, whatever it's called. Then maybe port that out to my Rumble channel that I simply don't use. Let's see what else. As I'm coming close to the midnight hour here where I am. My Monday night streams, I do pretty well just being completely random. I have no idea what I'll be doing next Monday for my Monday night live stream. As I look around my desk for any ideas, might go back to trading cards or comic books. No, comic books. I'm still sticking to Saturdays for my comic book related live streams. This coming Saturday, I do believe I'm going to touch on gimmick covers of the early 90s as a topic. So I'll have a good stack of comic books with gimmick covers to share with everyone. That'll be a fun live stream on this coming Saturday. Do pretty well starting at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, Texas time. Let's see, as Mikey says, my channel is 44 subs from 44 subs from my first 100. Oh, I guess I've gone down from 57 to 56 subs. Oh well. Yeah, I'll get there eventually. This is still a part-time hobby to me, so like I said, once I take it more seriously, I'll probably have like a subscriber push in the near future. In the meantime, I'm having loads of fun being on Comic Relief Crusaders shows, his Tuesday shows and his Friday shows. I'm looking forward to getting into more content, chatting about stuff, expanding future shows. I don't know. I do well doing Monday nights, Wednesday nights, and then Saturdays. If I do anything beyond that, I haven't decided yet. I might do some video games, chatting about some video games or whatnot, maybe on Friday late nights. That's something to be determined. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, I can feel the day starting to make me a little draggy here. So before I get too terribly boring for y'all, I'm going to thank everyone for coming in to the chat. Let me scroll up to make sure I greet everyone here. Let's see. Killer Rabbit, first in the gate. Hello, Killer Rabbit. Thank you for joining me. And then Melted Copper walked through the door. Scrolling. Go, and then Killer Rabbit. And then I want to say hello to Padawannabe again for chiming in on the subject. It's a very interesting subject, even though it's going to be the subject of much debate for many years to come, I do believe. Let's see. Yes, Mikey, thanks for joining me tonight. Yep, 44 subs away from my first 100. So please like, subscribe, share. Take care to both Killer Rabbits. I do resist the urge to say that in Elmer Fudd voice. Killer Wabbits. Aha. The name of the rabbit from the Holy Grail. Aha, gotcha. Very cool. Yes, it probably was 6 minutes from being too late to feed the Mogwai. Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining me tonight. A lot of people out there. I've seen my view count go up and down, so that's very cool. Thank you all for joining me in the chat, whether you're catching me live, if you're lurking out there, or if you catch the stream on a replay. Feel free to comment on what you think about AI art and its use, how you feel about creativity, and how you feel about AI art impacting the artist community. Also, I'd say go out to your local artist collective, hang out with them, thank them for creating art, genuine art, because that's real art. That's not typing in text a text prompt and telling an algorithm to spit something out. Yeah, I just as I wind down the evening and feel myself starting to drag a little bit, thank you all for joining me tonight. Until next time, everyone, see ya.